Hey, we are Bizarre Investigation. I'm Hugh.
And I'm Josh.
How you doing, bud?
Oh, wonderful.
Oh,
Wonderful. How about you, man?
pretty tired, man. Pretty
Yeah.
tired, yeah. Stayed up a little too late. Actually, didn't even stay up that late. I just woke up really early the day before. And then when I went to bed, it was like 23 hours I was up. So,
It's not bad, man.
pretty tired. And then I had to wake up early for fucking kids and shit.
Not bad at all.
Don't have kids. I'm just kidding.
Don't have kids.
I'm just kidding.
Have kids. They're amazing. Just have them later in life.
Yeah, don't be 23 having kids. I was 19 actually when I had my first kid. So, yeah, don't just, yeah.
Like always, let's start this off the right way. Bang!
Bang.
We are drinking you.
We are.
I got my pina colada.
Pina colada. I got my power punch like always.
Perfect.
Please
Perfect.
sponsor us.
Sponsor us, baby.
I wonder how annoyed our fucking viewers, listeners.
They're not
Get-
annoyed if they like bang like we do.
Honestly, if you guys want energy drinks, drink bangs.
Bangs are delicious.
Like honestly, we're not even fucking sponsored by them
But we plug them every episode, man. We
because
plug
they're
'em.
so good.
Yeah.
They're really good. No carbs. So for you people on the keto diet, no carbs.
Yeah, and they have, what is it, branched chain amino acids in them, right?
Yeah, they're healthier.
Creatine, some stuff like that, all that kind of good shit. I mean, I'm assuming that's good. I'm not really
Oh yeah, me neither, man.
good
I'm
on
not
the
a doctor or
health
anything.
thing. I did start a diet though, man.
I know, man.
You're aware, but our listeners, I don't know if they are.
No, you're doing pretty good too.
Yeah, I am doing pretty good, man. I've been almost a month solid of this carnivore diet.
The diet I talked about in the first episode.
Yeah, so I don't know. I'm down about 30 pounds right now.
Good shit, man.
Haven't cheated at all. I wanted to so bad sometimes, but actually it's getting easier.
You said you didn't see that Taco Bell I had down there?
No. Did you have it? That's crazy.
I tried to hide
Fucker.
it too, just so you wouldn't see it.
He was supposed to be doing this with me. Solidarity.
Yeah, I was supposed to do it, but then everyone in my house doesn't do it, so it's kind of hard for me to do a diet when everyone else is, eating shit in front of me.
Yeah. You could at least fake it at work, though.
Hey, fuck you, dude. No, thank you. So yeah, this week's episode we're doing Aurora, Texas, right?
Aurora, Texas. Aurora.
Aurora.
That's a weird word. Aurora.
Aurora. It's kind of a thoroughbred, but anyways.
Yeah, it's an interesting one, man. I wasn't 100% honest. I wasn't able to find a ton of,
That's majority of UFO shit. Everything's covered up, man.
Yeah. This one's interesting, though.
Yeah, I mean, I heard about it. I know, a little bit about it, but I didn't do any of the research into this one.
Oh, real quick, do you want to do your brain fuck?
Oh, yeah, dude, I got a brain fuck. It's a pretty stupid one, actually, but it's whatever, man. You walk across a bridge, and you see a boat full of people, yet there isn't a single person on board. How is that possible?
Okay. I don't get it. Oh, fuck. I'm interested. That one actually interests me.
Find out at the end.
Find out. That one's actually a good one. Read it one more time. I want to hear it one more time.
Okay, one more time. One more time. Let me pull out my S20 Ultra with my fingerprint scanner that's not working. You walk across a bridge and you see a boat. You see a boat full of people, yet there isn't a single person on board. How is that possible?
Yeah, I don't know. I'm interested. I'm intrigued.
Intrigued. All right. Do we have a security story?
I don't have.
See, it's kind of without Farnsey being here, man. Farnsey, come back, dude. This is weird. Yeah, it's kind of weird not having him. So
It is a little weird.
we normally have stories between all of us, but
Yeah. Normally something happens to us at some point. At least one of us. You know what I mean?
yeah, it's been pretty boring.
Me and Hugh work together, so if one thing happens to one of us, it typically happens to the other one.
Yeah, normally if we see something even remotely stupid, we call each other up like, "Hey, you want to come over here?"
Yeah.
Fuck it, yeah, man.
I
An
got
hour
nothing
wasted.
better to do.
An hour wasted is an hour gained, right?
So he also finds he works in a hospital, so I feel like he sees some more crazy shit. You know what I mean?
Ooh, that's
Yeah.
He needs to come back on.
He needs to get his ass back here. Farnsey, get your ass back here.
Yeah. But yeah, I mean, maybe I can do what's on Farnsey's brain at the end of it. Just do what's on my brain.
Yeah. Maybe we just change it from Farnsey's brain to what's on your brain.
Yeah.
I mean, Until he comes back, at least.
Yeah, until he comes back. I don't want to redo that fucking theme song, dude. It took us 20 seconds, and that was 20 seconds of time I didn't have.
Exactly.
What can we get into? You wanted to get to a bizarre story?
I got a bizarre story. It's gonna be super good and awesome.
Did you pre-read it?
I did not.
Okay.
I'm just assuming.
Just assuming. All right.
Yeah. Okay, so let's get into it.
It has been established that persons who have recently died have been returning to life and committing acts of murder.
Okay, so this one is called Bert.
Bert, like Bert and Ernie?
Exactly, that's how it's
Okay.
spelled too. This happened in 2006 in upstate New York. My friends and I were taking a camping trip upstate. We are from the city. And we arrived at the location at night time, so it was very dark. Everyone got off of the buses, and we were all standing around outside of the cabins waiting to eat. I want to say, if you're camping, you don't do it in cabins.
No, that's not camping.
That's not camping.
Camping is a tent.
That's
And
what
if
they
you want
ca-
to do hardcore camping, you dig a hole and you sleep in a sleeping bag.
Yeah, camping is a tent pretty much, and a cabin is vacation.
And if you say, well, I have a trailer. Well, your trailer's also not camping.
No, it's not. You need
That's called trailering.
tenting. You got a tent to camp.
Yeah.
Anyways, I'm sorry. That's why I'm ruining my story over here by myself. Anyways, okay, so we are all standing around outside of the cabins waiting to eat. I saw one of the chaperones, Bert, standing near some trees a few yards from the cabin. Bert is a tall, broad-shouldered guy, and he was wearing a black pea coat. I was with everyone else when I turned my head and I saw him, and he was gesturing for me to come closer. I started running toward him. He continued to gesture, and encouraged me to come closer to him. My brother, he's over here fucking with the damn thing. What is that?
My phone was getting close to the wire and it fucking...
It's like running interference or some shit.
Yeah.
Anyways. Okay, so I started running toward him. He continued to gesture and encourage me. Why would you run towards something anyways? Why would you run towards something? I started running toward him. He continued to gesture and encourage me to come closer to him. My brother, who was with the group, shouted behind me. I turned around to see him, and he was about to tell me that I was going to Bert.
What?
Yeah, that doesn't make sense. I turned around to see him and was about to... I was about to tell him that I was going to Bert. But when I turned back around, he wasn't there. No one was there.
Ooh.
He had vanished. I looked back at my brother and the rest of the group and saw Bert with the other adults.
Oh, shit.
End of story. Kind of not that good of one.
What the...
Posted by fucking super. That's literally what it says. Fucking super. Anyways, that was a really weak story.
Yeah, you promised me it was going to be a good story.
Dude, don't believe what I say.
And I also won't lie to you. I didn't pay attention to half of it because I was fucking with that wire.
Yeah, I know. You're fucking throwing me off over here. I'm over here trying to read, and everybody, if you're here, you know I'm not a very good reader. He was over here fucking with his phone. Like, he puts it over, like, our fucking device wire, whatever the hell
I
it
think
is.
they can hear it inside the fucking thing.
I know I can. Fucking distracting me over here. But anyways, it was pretty much this girl, I'm assuming it was a girl, seen Bert, who was supposed to be...
How fucking dare you?
assume. Seen the worker over there named Bert. He was in the woods or some shit, so she starts running towards him. Her
Mhm.
brother shouts out for her. She turns around to see her brother, looks back, Bert's not there. Then looks back towards her brother, and that's where Bert's at. So it's like either Bert's really fast or she's seeing shit she probably shouldn't be doing the drugs that she's doing.
He's like Edward the vampire.
Yeah. Or she should probably lay off the drugs, right? Because that's what it sounds like to me.
Yeah, I mean, I always heard acid was good.
Yeah. Well, she's on some shrooms or some shit, right? I mean, I've never done it, but I believe that it would probably make you hallucinate.
Yeah,
Probably.
man. Yeah.
And that's what she's doing.
So you want to get into this?
Yeah, fuck it. Let's do it, man.
All right. 'Cause
Aurora, Texas.
like I said, I didn't do any research, so you're going to be mind fucking my brain.
Well, here's the thing. There's not a lot of research to do on this one, man. Okay, so this whole thing originated from a story that was put into a...
In Aurora, Texas.
Aurora, Texas, yeah. But what I'm saying, okay, so this author, his name was S.E. Hayden. He wrote in the Dallas Morning News on April 19th, 1897 about this incident. That's the only real documentation of it from what I found. Is the news story.
Okay.
So I don't know. For me, this one is kind of sketchy because of that.
I mean, you didn't watch the X-Files episode on this?
Nah, was there one?
Yeah.
No, I didn't, man. Was it good?
I watched that one. It's pretty good.
Interesting.
Yeah.
I can read the actual article. It's not that long.
Read it.
I mean, unless you want to read it.
No, man, I like hearing you read.
I'm the best reader, so. A windmill demolishes it is what it's called.
Okay. That's literally the title of the article.
Yeah. So
what year did this happen?
1897.
1897.
I do want to point out that's before flight. I think the Wright brothers.
I think it was like
1903.
03?
This is when they actually did their first flight.
So
there wasn't. So you know how a lot of times these get discredited as, like military.
Yeah, like flying objects.
Crafts or some shit like that. You can't discredit this one if it's true. There's no discrediting it.
Yeah.
Because we didn't have anything that flew at that time. I think that's what's cool about this case is the fact that...
Not even blimps or anything like that?
No, we didn't have blimps. I mean, you had balloons, but not blimps that could be actually...
Like Zeppelins and shit?
I don't even know what the hell a Zeppelin is.
Those big blimps, military blimps?
No, we didn't have anything at all that flew like that. We had balloons, that's it.
Okay.
So it was like... I want to say there was like... They had weather balloons back then. Not weather balloons, but... what do you call it? Those things that go up in the sky.
Balloons.
Hot air balloons. But they weren't actually like you would think of today. They were just on a smaller scale and like real ghetto, pretty much. But anyways, you want me to read the story?
Yeah. I thought you were going to read this no matter what.
No, I'm trying to figure out if I want to. Okay, so it's called The Windmill Demolishes It. About 6 o'clock this morning, the early risers of Aurora were astonished, and I'm sorry if this is actually harder to read because it's actually the actual news article. It's not reprinted. And so look, I'll show you real quick. I know you guys can't see it, but it's like actually distorted a little bit, so it's kind of hard to see.
Yeah.
Okay, so the early risers of Aurora were astonished at the sudden appearance of the airship which has been sailing through the country. It was traveling due north and much nearer to the earth than ever before. Evidently, some of the machinery was out of order, for it was making a speed of only 10 to 12 miles an hour. And I do want to interrupt there and say that I seen the fastest thing they had back then was a train, and it went about 40 miles an hour. So their judgment of 10 miles an hour is probably not accurate.
Yeah. Did it say it was going really fast?
No, it just said it was going about 10 miles an hour when it crashed. So you don't crash at 10 miles an hour. It just doesn't happen.
Fuck.
Right?
A mile away. Shit.
But so my thing with that is I say that they weren't, there's no way they could judge it. They didn't have speeds back then.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So for me, I was probably going a little bit faster than that, I would assume, and they just couldn't really judge it based off the fact that they probably never seen anything flying.
Yeah.
So anyways, it was going about 10 to 12 miles an hour, gradually settling towards Earth. It sailed directly over the public square, and when it reached the north part of town, collided with the tower of Judge Proctor's windmill, and went to pieces with a terrific explosion, scattering debris over several acres of ground, wrecking the windmill and water tank, and destroying the judge's flower garden. That's important.
Fuck him.
Fucking destroyed the flower garden. The pilot of the ship is supposed to have been the only one on board.
Okay.
And while his remains are badly disfigured, enough of the original has been picked up to show that he was not an inhabitant of this world. Mr. T.J. Weems, the United States Signal Service officer at the place, and in authority, like I said, these words are authority on astronomy, gives it as his opinion that he was a native of the planet Mars. Papers found on the person evidently... I didn't know that.
You had papers on him?
I guess so. Evidently the record of his travels written in some unknown hieroglyphics. And he cannot be deciphered. Okay, so this article's like literally from then. So apparently the hieroglyphics could not be deciphered, so they don't really know what it means. The ship was too badly wrecked to form any conclusion as to its construction or motive power. This is like really like distorted, like it's hard to see. It was built out of an unknown metal resembling somewhat of a mixture of aluminum and silver, and it must have weighed several tons. The town is full of people today who are viewing the wreck and gathering specimens of the strange metal. The debris. The pilot's funeral will take place at noon tomorrow. S.C. Hayden. So that's a full article that he wrote. Which is kind of cool, though, because, it was witnessed by a bunch of people, I guess. So from the things that I've seen, so this thing crashes into the windmill on Judge Proctor's land. Yeah. Well, apparently, like, this town's like 300 people, the population of like 300 people. Okay. So pretty much everybody like rushes to the judge's land to see this thing. So apparently there were like numerous eyewitness accounts of this. Okay. So that lends a little bit of credibility, although we don't have their like
1897. Kind of.
It's such a long time ago, man.
That was 99 years before I was born.
Yeah. Well, it was pretty much. I think that's pretty much the only thing that we have to go off for those is the article. I don't see anything like... They should have recorded it. Pulled out their cell phones and recorded it, man.
Fucking... Those pieces of shit. All the fuckers that can't catch these UFOs. Right? A bunch of fucking assholes.
1897? Don't give me an excuse, man.
You definitely had a motherfucker in there.
So, this thing, some of the eyewitnesses said it was like a Twinkie shaped. So it was like a, what do you call it? A longer ship. It wasn't like you know how you think of spaceships and you think of the circular ones? Yeah. This one was apparently like a long Twinkie shaped one.
Okay.
It's kind of weird, but.
Maybe it was a magic school bus.
I think it wasn't yellow, but it's kind of lending some credibility because there's been other accounts of those, right?
I'm pretty sure Farngy was talking about one on an earlier episode about the fucking Twinkie-shaped object coming from the ocean.
Yeah. Yeah, I do remember that.
Yeah.
So, maybe that's... first of all, okay, say this incident is factual. Yeah. This really happened. All these sightings were being seen, like... I guess it was, like, being seen for, like, 2 months prior all over the country.
Okay.
For the previous 2 days, it was seen flying around that area. And it was witnessed by like several people who are credible.
What's credible back then?
Who knows?
The sheriff?
Maybe the judge seen it or something.
Judge, the sheriff, the executioner.
But back then, I don't know. What would you consider credible? I don't know. But apparently, people who don't lie, I guess.
Okay, you sold me on it.
Yeah. So
what about the What I heard was that body was dug up.
No, it wasn't.
According to X-Files, it was.
Well, X-Files lied to you. So what happened is I guess they gave it like a Christian burial at the Aurora Cemetery. Yeah. And it's never been dug up. There's been people who did documentaries who have requested to dig it up, and they were denied access.
When I was... Obviously, I wasn't basing my everything off of the X-Files episode, but I was watching... I think it was Ancient Aliens, and they had an episode about it. I'm pretty sure they said something about the government immediately went there and dug it up and then replaced it with something.
As far as like a conspiracy.
Yeah.
I mean, I could see that. Yeah.
I mean, who would ever bury what government would ever allow an alien to be buried?
Well, from what I've seen, like this was essentially hidden from the rest of the world until like the 1970s.
Mm-hmm.
And then it kind of popped up when they were doing like the Roswell investigations and shit like that.
Yeah.
And then people started talking about this. And so that's when it really came to light and people started discussing it. But I'd imagine even if it were able to stay secret pretty much that long, that once it came out, yeah, the government probably went there right away and be like, you got what?
Yeah.
Why
the fuck did I not know about this? Well, I'm a judge, so I didn't think I needed to tell you. Well, motherfucker.
Well, even if it's not the judge, I mean, like, first of all, like, okay, so you're able to hide it for 73-ish years, 70 plus years, whatever it is.
Yeah.
And then it comes out, and then the government gets a hold of it. Of course, they're going to go, like, dig up the entire fucking cemetery, whatever they got to do to find this supposed alien.
Right.
And from all accounts, this alien was, like, small in stature, almost like a child's body.
Mm-hmm.
And so it was a small thing. So you think if it's in a fairly large cemetery, and it's not marked, then that may be hard to find. Because I also seen that they did put a headstone on it.
Yeah.
But the headstone was stolen.
Stolen?
Stolen. So a lot of people still go to the cemetery, like even today, to check this shit out. It would be kind of cool actually to see.
Good. Like, I'm glad people actually still do that shit because it, makes people still believe in this shit.
Yeah.
Brings light to it, Doesn't let it die off.
Well, also, okay, so the wreckage, right?
Yeah.
They took the body, they buried it in the cemetery, gave it the Christian burial, whatever. Well, the wreckage, it was cleaned up, but most of it was thrown down the well on the property. The water well.
From what I read was that it was a pretty valuable material, right? It's kind of like the material they found at Roswell.
I would assume so, yes.
Yeah.
But so they threw a lot of the material down the damn well.
What if, hear me out, what if this was the crash ship and they took it to Antarctica and then Operation High Jump happened, we stole it, or that was what we've been working on, right? In Antarctica was that ship. We rebuilt it, right? We confiscated, or the Germans took all the pieces or whatever, went to Operation High Jump, and then we stole it back, and that's how Roswell happened.
I don't think so. I don't think so, because we didn't even have flight capabilities at that time, so we didn't probably even give two shits. We probably didn't really think about it.
Yeah.
And like I said, if it was being able to, if it was hidden for that long, then people like the government probably didn't really understand or know about it if it's true.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Yeah, this fucking.
Okay, so the farm that it crashed on was sold in 1935.
Okay.
It was sold to Mr. Brawley Oates.
Okay.
Yeah. And so apparently once he bought the property, he cleaned out whatever he could from the well and disposed of the materials. And he started using the water, right? Because it's a well, he needed it for his water. He ended up mutating essentially. Like his entire body and shit was like, what do you call it?
Radiated? Mutated?
No, arthritis, like the worst case of arthritis like fucking ever is they were mutated. Like I think I've seen pictures of his hands that were mutated.
Okay.
And it's just horrible. Like the worst case. And that was only, I guess he was there for like 12 years drinking from it.
Yeah.
And then I guess they realized that this may be the cause of what's going on with him. And so they cemented it. Like they closed off the well and put cement over it to where you couldn't access it. So
let's go there and dig it up, man.
Well,
he said he already disposed of all the material, right?
He disposed of what he could, I'm assuming, because if you dispose of all of it, why the hell are you still having effects from it?
Well, they sold it in 39, right? 35?
35, yeah.
So that's 40 years pretty much of that material just sitting there. Sorry. 30 years of just sitting there.
So are you thinking like residual?
Yeah. That's 40 years, right? I'm no good math.
Well, so they closed it up, right? And then I seen a documentary. People did a little documentary on it.
Yeah.
And they were trying to get into the well and shit, and they're like, "Oh, we can't get into it." I'm like, "Just fucking dig around it, or destroy the cement and get in there and see what the fuck's in there, you know what I mean? But they didn't even want to do that.
I mean, of course not.
Yeah. Like I said, I couldn't find a lot of information on this thing, man.
So, you got any conspiracies about it? Because, we're a conspiracy podcast.
Well, some people say this was a hoax. Like, so the town made this whole incident up because they were worried about essentially the town closing because it's a small population and there's not a lot happening. Yeah. Apparently, they built a railroad to go through it.
And never used it?
No, it's just to go through it. So you're like, the only thing this city's being used for at this point is just being a place for a railroad to go through. So the theory is that they would have made this all up.
Yeah.
Fabricated it all just so that they can be relevant. And it worked if that's the case.
Yeah, I mean, I guess, yeah.
I mean, it worked because now they're on the map. Look, we're talking about them 130 years later, 120 years later, 123 years later.
23.
So we're still talking about them. So it worked. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it did work. You're right. You're right.
I don't know. I don't think it was a hoax though. I like to think that.
But yeah, why would you?
Case.
I don't think UFOs are big back then, and why would you bring up something that's flying?
Because first of all, how do you even know anything about flying?
Right. There was something in the sky that appeared to be like, when you jump in the process of falling, but it was not falling. It was just falling straight up in the air. How would you explain flying back then?
You probably couldn't really.
I guess you got birds. Yeah, it's flying.
That's true.
So I guess I'm pretty stupid for...
No, because you got me too, so... No, you see birds flying, I guess, yeah. But what I'm saying is you don't have the concept of actual you being able to go into something and fly. Because 1903 is when the Wright brothers did their first flight. Yeah. So, I mean, the idea had to at least been in the air. No pun intended. But, I mean, yeah, just... That's why, to me, it's baffling to make up something so intricate and... it not be true, because you really have to have a fucking incredible mind to think that shit up.
Yeah,
when you've never seen anything like that.
Never.
I was trying to think last night, what would be the equivalent of that today, but I can't think of that because we have everything. We have ships, we have cars, we have planes, we have people that can strap a rocket to their back and fly. I mean, we have all that shit now. So, I honestly could not think of anything that would be the equivalent of making something random up. Maybe like a time traveling thing.
Yeah.
I mean, actually, that's one theory, too, is that it could have been a time traveler, right? So it could have been a person from the future when time travel was invented.
That's why I brought up the Magic School Bus.
The Magic School Bus?
Yeah. Remember the old TV show?
The one that shrinks and shit?
Yeah.
Yeah, I do remember that. I actually used to love that show, man.
Yeah.
That's pretty good. What was the teacher's name?
Ooh, I think it starts with a J.
Oh, God. That's going to bother me, man.
I'm going to look it up.
Yeah, that's going to bother me. What the hell was her name? Fuck it. You got it?
Miss Valerie Fizzle?
Fizzle. Yeah, it was Fizzle.
Yeah.
That's
Frizzle.
funny.
Frizzle.
Frizzle?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Miss Frizzle.
That sounds about right. That's pretty funny.
Miss Frizzle fucking crashed a school bus into a fucking windmill.
Yeah, we shrink your school bus down so much it goes into someone's body and shit.
Yeah.
That's funny. I used to love that shit as a kid.
Yeah.
But anyways, it could be like a time traveler, right? I mean, you think about it, maybe the ship was actually a time traveling machine.
Yeah.
From the future. Or it could be from another dimension.
Yeah.
Something like along those lines. I still think that that's a possibility as far as what we think of as aliens.
Is that us from the future?
Yeah, just us from the future. Time traveling.
Like how Farnsey was talking about in that one episode, how we just become one as a human race. Right. We're no longer different colors. We're all the same person. And we evolve to something we can't understand today. Yeah. Yeah, we can't even imagine it with our own brains because our brain doesn't process that power yet. Mm-hmm. And I guess we do process the power. We just don't. We can't understand the concept of our evolution. Correct. So, yeah, maybe. I mean, I think that would be the coolest fucking thing ever if that was the case. Well, do you think that we already have the capabilities of time travel? I feel like we do. I've read. I mean, not us as like a society, but like somewhere like in the government. Potentially, yeah. I think that's possible. I mean, I think that at least there are, if not... Honestly, I think anything's possible. I saw something about like a little fucking a tractor beam, not a tractor beam, what the fuck, a teleportation thing that they can transfer a single particle from one point to another point. A particle. So imagine 30 years from now, that particle can be, a pen.
Yeah.
And then that fucking 10 years from that pen is now a person.
Well, I mean, I think that, what do you call it? Transport, like instant transportation?
Yeah.
Like teleportation?
Yeah.
I think that's possible. I think that that's something that we're probably a lot closer to than time travel.
Yeah. I honestly 100% agree. I think in our lifetime we could see some form of minuscule teleportation.
You know what I've seen, or at least I've heard a theory that like teleportation will be, like say you're able to teleport somewhere.
Mm-hmm.
What they'll do is they're essentially going to copy you,
delete you, and then put you back.
Correct.
Yeah.
So essentially you're like killing yourself and then recreating your exact self.
Yeah, like Borderlands.
But imagine like if that were the case, like are you losing something every time you essentially delete yourself or kill yourself and create a new one? Are you losing something? Maybe a memory, maybe something like genetically?
Dude, conspiracy theory. Maybe, just maybe, hear me out. That's why there's a lot of homeless people right now. Maybe the government's going to use them as testing as guinea pigs to see what happens when you transport someone, because you had to delete them, right?
Right.
And you're going to digistruct them back into the world. So maybe that's what they're doing. Maybe they're using these homeless individuals as guinea pigs to see if, they lose something.
No, I could see that for sure. Yeah.
Yeah.
So what you're saying, like, you have the homeless population, and people are not going to like really understand if they leave. They're not going to like really miss them, essentially, right?
They say, you do this, we'll give you $1,000.
They don't even offer them anything. You could be abducting homeless people. Nobody would notice.
That is true.
So you could just take a homeless person off the streets and nobody's going to notice. I mean, you may have some people within the homeless community who are going to notice, but
half of them already talk about they're being followed by the government. So
Correct.
then they say they fucking took me, and they fucking the monkeys, the pigs,
exactly.
and they transported me in space and time.
Exactly. So I mean,
get the fuck out of
well,
here.
even then, like say you do need test subjects, right?
Yeah.
You don't pay them, so the word can get out. What you do is you go take a homeless person who you can kill afterwards if you need to.
Yeah. I don't think you need to, because, like I just said, no one's gonna fucking believe him.
That's true, but I mean, you would think our government's not going to leave any loose ends just lying around, so they probably are going to.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, this was successful? Cool. Tell us your experience. Thank you. Thank you for your services. I mean, go dump them on the side of the river.
Right. Yeah. I mean, I think that's like pretty plausible.
The time travel, or are you talking about?
The transportation, maybe that's the reason why all the homeless people are leaving all the other states and moving to California, because they're keeping them all in one area.
They're kind of like forcing them, like, hey, this is where we want you because we have easier access to you.
Yeah, easy access. You fucking put them in. Maybe meth is like the fucking key part.
Yeah, maybe it is, or maybe it's like,
because they are giving them fucking free drugs here.
Correct. And you know how they actually do? They give them like free food and shit like that. Maybe
free
they could
needles.
They could be doing anything like that, supplying them with the homeless shelters could be like a front for something. And
yeah, this is like
put something in
ultra
their food.
conspiracy.
Yeah,
this is like some Alex Jones shit.
This is deep. But yeah, that's possible, man. Getting them ready, like maybe there's some kind of like supplement in their food that prepares their body for the time travel.
That's what I think meth is, man. Meth turns people into superhumans.
That's true.
It really does.
Because you imagine like being on meth, you have some incredible fucking powers and shit.
Yeah, I mean, you're not there.
You
obviously.
see the cops that have a problem fighting people off. They're like this small dude, like takes like six cops.
Like 60 pounds, and they're taking on, like, for example, our story.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, it's fucking nuts, man.
It is. It really is.
Like, honestly, if you guys are listening and you don't believe me that meth gives you superhuman strength, watch meth heads fucking fight people.
Oh yeah, dude. I don't know where they get the strength from. Maybe it's. Didn't they say we use like 10% of our brain?
Yeah.
Maybe that unlocks a certain percentage.
Oh, just like the stupid strength.
Yeah. Exactly.
Yeah. Maybe.
Maybe we all have that little something inside of us, but it's not unlocked. We're not using our potential.
Yeah, I'm not using my essential oils and
all that stuff.
crystals.
Exactly.
I'm still, when you're picking your character, I'm still blank. You can't see me yet because I know I'm not fully fully there yet.
Bingo, bango.
But
Anyways,
yeah, Yeah, we just went completely off topic from Aurora, Texas.
Well, it's probably necessary because there's not a ton on Aurora, Texas from what I can
Yeah.
tell. So, I mean, that's another theory, though. It could have been like us traveling back in time.
But what?
So, I mean, think about that, okay? So, what if it was? And they bury the individual. And someone goes to dig it up,
Yeah.
and it's just us? No one would ever think anything like, oh, these people are stupid. They're not... They just buried a regular person.
Well, then skeptics are going to come in like, they took that body. And then they took the fucking alien body and they replaced it with the human.
Yeah, I mean, absolutely. Conspiracy theorists, right?
Hey, speaking of time travel, you ever see those pictures of like time travelers? And like, there's one with like, there's a picture of, I don't know if it's real or not. I just saw it the other day. There's a speech with JFK and there's someone in the background with like modern clothes.
Oh,
or
yeah.
there's a video of Mike Tyson, the Mike Tyson fight.
And someone using a cell phone.
And someone using a cell phone to record.
Yeah.
I know it's not, but it's time travel. That's fucking nuts.
I think time travel exists. Obviously, think about this, and this is a little weird, but like, okay, so if time travel exists way in the future, it technically exists now because people can travel back to our time. Right?
But then the end game is all messed up. The timeline's all screwed up.
No, because
Tony Stark dies.
Well, you think about it. Okay, so say they invented 30 years from today.
Yeah.
Well, they can travel back from 30 years from today to today. So technically it exists
But
today.
you're not supposed to go back and talk to your old self.
I'm not saying you
That's
would.
like
what I'm saying is, so you
can't
go
even
back,
like interact with anything.
but it still exists, though.
Dude, I always thought by the time time travel's always like already here, we're going to have like medicine that keeps us alive forever. Like full time travel. Like you can go back in time. I was like, what if that's how we got our history books?
From the future, not from the past.
What if someone like goes in the time machine and like, all right, I'm gonna start at the beginning. I have 30,000 pills with me. You just keep in a backpack. You know, you keep some. You get some weapons.
Oh, you see like the celebrities that like, oh, this was fucking whatever celebrity back in 1705.
Keanu Reeves.
Yeah, I've seen the Keanu Reeves one. Yeah,
He's a fucking vampire. Doesn't age.
yep.
But no, dude, I was thinking like a good like movie, or not even a movie, like a TV show would be like someone travels back in time and they have all these pills that keep them alive forever, and they just go from the start of time all the way on, just live forever.
I mean, that'd be interesting to do. Really do.
Yeah, it would be obviously it'd be fucking thousands and thousands of years. By the time you come back, you're gonna be like all fucked up and shit.
Well, yeah, but
he has life.
That'd be a boring show, is what I'm trying to say.
Okay. Obviously, he doesn't go from everything. You know, you start off with,
dinosaurs.
Yeah, you can see everything. Like, no, when they come back and people are like, "There's no dinosaurs. Earth is flat." Like, no, motherfucker.
Look at this picture right here.
This is a real fucking Photoshop. It's like, motherfucker, I've been alive for 20,000 years now. You motherfucker. Don't you fucking question this shit. And then live. No, I don't know. That's
It'd be
something.
2,000 years, wouldn't it?
Shut the fuck. Oh my god. I don't know. I think that'd be cool though.
Yeah, it would be. That'd be dope.
I
mean, it'd be dope to do, but
or just go back in time to like actually like match our history books with shit.
yeah.
Go back in time, like, all right, did this really happen? Travel back to 1720 to see if the fucking plague happened. I think that was like the death plague. And like actually record, like actually
Document shit.
document it and actually have record.
Absolutely. That would be, I mean, I would
Don't
think that,
don't
you know
tamper
what's
with
funny?
anything.
Like in the future, I bet you if time travel exists, people are assigned to do that kind of shit.
Oh, of course. Yeah.
Like that's your job. You go back in time. Hey, today you're traveling to 1822. Tell me what happened this day, please.
Yeah, just record it and then come back.
Yeah, exactly. So that would essentially be your job.
That'd be a dope ass job.
As long as it doesn't fuck you up, like I said, genetically and shit. Yeah, it would be pretty dope.
Yeah, it'd be cool. Yeah.
Yeah, I'd like that. So, Aurora, Texas, right?
I feel like that's pretty much it about Aurora, Texas. Nothing.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, it's just a newsletter that created this entire thing.
Yeah. I mean, it's so cool. It's a cool thing.
It's a cool idea.
That's like the first UFO crash, right?
It's considered the first one, yeah.
Yeah.
but we don't know if it's true. Like I said,
if it is though,
a
that's
story.
That's cool.
Yeah. So this one was kind of a boring topic.
Boring and short topic.
For me to look it up too. I was watching videos on this, right?
Mm-hmm.
And it's the same thing over and over and over again. Like nobody has anything new on it.
Yeah.
The people who did the documentary, they were trying to find people to like prove it and shit, right? But this is 123 years ago. You're not going to find people to prove this right now. It's just not going to happen.
Mm-hmm.
And so even the documentaries, they were boring because they were just repeating the same thing over and over again.
Yeah.
Yeah. I guess there was a news station who tried to do it too, from what I'm looking at right here. In 1998, Dallas-based TV station KDFW aired a lengthy report about the Aurora incident. They found nothing new.
That's all?
Well, I mean, yeah, they didn't find anything new. There's just not a whole lot on there, man. Like, I literally looked into this shit for hours, and everything that I've told you so far is pretty much what they've got. They got nothing new. It's impossible to come up with new shit unless you just make shit up.
Yeah.
So
Sounds about right.
I mean, it's just not a lot to get into.
Dude, I was actually thinking for future episodes, one, I know we want to do Battle of Los Angeles.
Mm-hmm.
I know for a fact there's a lot more information on that one than this one.
For sure. Actually, just so everybody knows, that was one of our practice episodes.
Yeah, that was our second episode that we ever did. It was just a trial to see how to edit things and how to actually record, get our settings right and shit like that. And that was our first one, and let me tell you, pretty shitty.
Well, that episode was, but the information is plentiful.
Yeah, like, we didn't have any segments, right? We had no segments, no bizarre stories, no fucking what's on Farney's brain, nothing. I was straight facts for 40 minutes.
Yeah, and that was kind of boring. We didn't.
It was boring
at that time too. Like, we didn't really have a good conversation going. We were just all new to this, trying to figure some shit out.
We weren't comfortable,
and I think that's the point of a practice episode, though.
Yeah, we wanted to get comfortable because right now, me and Josh are comfortable talking to each other, but at first we were nervous talking to the microphone.
I think it is. It's just nervous. You know what you're putting out there is available to everybody, so it's like, yeah, you are nervous at the beginning.
Also, the most nervous I've ever been on this podcast was releasing our first trailer.
Really?
On Instagram and Twitter and shit like that. I was so nervous.
I don't think I was too nervous about that one.
Why? Because it's on all the fucking trailers, it's always my voice.
Uh-huh. So you're talking about the trailers for each episode?
No, like our very first one. Yeah.
I thought you were talking about the promo.
Yeah, for the very first episode for episode 1, 2, and 3. I was like stupidly nervous for that shit because I was like, it's only my voice. People are gonna critique me and shit like that. And then when we posted our first episode, I was like, I don't care. If I sound stupid, the other guy sounds stupid too.
That's why at this point I'm like,
now I don't even give a fuck.
It is what it is. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I don't even give a shit anymore.
Doesn't bother me at all anymore. I'm definitely not nervous anymore. What, you got something going on in your brain?
No, kind of something I wanted, like another topic we can do later this month. The Bermuda Triangle. Yeah.
Yeah, that's actually pretty cool. I mean, is there a lot of information on that, though?
I feel like there's lots of stories.
I feel like we got to avoid subjects like this. We got to, like, nip it in the butt. If there's not
a lot to it.
If there's not a lot to it, maybe we do an episode where we add, like, 3 or 4 things together. You know what I mean?
We're, like, 42 minutes right now, and we just talked about it for, like, 5 minutes.
We've been bullshitting most of the time, let's be honest.
Yeah.
So we need to find subjects like this and put 3 or 4 of them together in one episode. Mm-hmm. I feel like that's going to be a lot better for us.
Yeah. We'll work on it. This is episode 12?
This is 12.
It was supposed to be 9, but now it's 12. So yeah, we're still getting used to this shit. Well, everything else, for the most part, everything we talked about to date, we've had, majority of the time, just been facts and talking about the facts. This one has been like all over the place because not enough information.
There's truly not, man.
I mean, Operation High Jump was also kind of like this, but we're able to get...
No, because you can speculate on there. Yeah. This one, you have realistically 3 options: alien, hoax, or time travel. I can't even think of anything else.
Yeah, no, I can't. No.
Like, honestly, I can't. So, it's something that's crazy. I mean, it's such a big thing in the history of our country.
Right.
But it's just, there's no information on it. There's no actual hard evidence on it. And for something that happened like where there was supposed debris and there's supposedly a body like available to people.
Yeah.
I mean, and we have no evidence. That's kind of hard to believe.
It is pretty stupid.
So for me, that's just something that kind of lends a little bit more to the the hoax theory.
Yeah.
But I would like to think that people back then were not thinking about making a hoax, like especially an alien hoax.
Mm-hmm.
But you never know, I guess.
Yeah, like you said earlier, we had no concept of flying machines then.
Right. Like I said, the best thing they had was balloons, I believe, something along those lines. So, no, you weren't thinking about this. I did hear on ATT, though, that there was a book written right before the Worlds.
World at War.
World at War, yeah. So that's something.
Yeah, I had. It was a radio show.
That's an alien book.
Yeah.
Book, right?
Well, at first it was a radio show.
I thought it was the opposite. It was a book that got read on the radio, turned into a radio show.
I think. It could
Either
have been
way.
either way. Yeah.
Either way, apparently there was thoughts on alien activity, so
Yeah.
I guess it's plausible that it was a hoax, right?
Mm-hmm.
When things like this come up, I always think to myself, like, I want it to be real.
Oh, I would love to.
You know what I mean? Like,
Every time there's something
how's
alien, I
that
want it to be real.
how is it fun if it's a hoax every single fucking time? It's just not.
Yeah.
And that's always the case, too. So when I seen this, I was like, oh, that's pretty cool because it's before flight, so you can actually, like, not discredit this with saying it was a plane.
Right.
So this is one of those rare instances where I wish we had a little bit of more information. I wish somebody
I
would,
always wish there was more information, but there's never information.
Yeah. So I always, when it comes to these cases, I always want it to be real. Like, no matter what, I always hope for it being real.
Yeah, of course.
That's how I feel about it.
I want to plug a movie, a good movie to watch.
For this or just in general?
Just in general. I remembered it because I watched it like a month ago and it was really good. Extinction with Michael Pena.
I don't think I've heard of that one.
It's like a Netflix movie, but it was really good.
Yeah?
It's
about our fucking planet going away or what?
Yeah, it's the extinction of mankind pretty much. There's a big twist to it and it's fucking crazy. But yeah, do watch it. Anyone listen, watch it. It's a really good movie.
It's on Netflix right now?
Yeah.
I'll check it out, man.
Awesome. Yeah, I don't have what's on my brain. I have nothing on my brain right now, man.
I don't either, man. You know what? Oh, fuck it. I'll throw something out there.
Okay.
Monkeys taking over the world. I don't know why I've been thinking about that. Like
what, Planet of the Apes type shit?
Not to that extent. And I mean, maybe they're not taking over the world, but like monkeys are pretty smart. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's possible that they could.
I mean, it could.
I mean, what did we evolve from, essentially, if you believe in evolution?
Monkeys.
Right?
Yeah.
So, I mean, I guess it's not out of the realm.
Chimps, to be exact.
It's not out of the realm of possibility to think that.
No, it's not.
You know why I'm thinking about that is because I did just watch Planet of the Apes, the first one.
Okay.
You know,
speculate on the first one.
No, the newer ones.
Okay.
The first one of the newer ones.
Yes.
Where they fucking the original one. What's his name? Caesar.
Yeah.
Yeah, that one.
Don't say original.
I'm not talking about the old ass one.
This is the second time where you fucking talk about like.
I don't like old movies.
I don't.
Original for me is the first one of the newer ones, if that makes sense. So I was thinking about that.
This is really weird. You're like 10 years older than me, and I like movies that came out when you're your age, and you like movies that came out with me.
Exactly. I'm new school.
I'm old school.
Yeah, something like that. But yeah, that's the reason I was thinking about it, is because I seen that and I was like, I guess that's not too far fetched.
It's really not. I mean, I could definitely see it. It just takes one of them to get a tiny bit evolved, right? And then they can do it.
We run experiments on people, like you were saying, and running experiments on homeless people.
Yeah.
So what's the reason that we couldn't run experiments on something close to a human first?
Yeah.
A fucking monkey, essentially. Makes sense to me, man.
Makes sense to me as well.
Anyways.
Brain fuck.
Oh, yeah, I forgot that we did that.
All right, so the brain fuck was you walk across a bridge and you see a boat full of people, yet there isn't a single person on board. How is that possible?
You want me to take a guess before you say it?
Yeah.
Okay, so you walk across a bridge
You walk across a bridge and you see a boat full of people.
full of people.
Yet there isn't a single person on board. How is it possible?
Damn, I don't know. I can't even think of anything.
They were all married.
Ah, fuck yeah. That's a good one.
That's why I try to put the single person on board.
How fucking got me, dude.
Yeah.
How my brain was fucked on that one.
Fucked brain.
Yeah, couldn't think of it. That's a good one, though. It's
Yeah.
not bad at all.
Anything else you want to put?
I can't think of anything. What are we at time-wise?
50 minutes.
50?
Yeah, I think it's good.
Yeah, that's going to have to be good for this episode. Like I said, everybody who's listening, start communicating with us, please. Hit us up on social media, email, all that shit. We need some ideas. We need to get a line of communication going with our listeners.
Yeah.
So please hit us up. If you do, we'll definitely respond, obviously.
Yeah.
Give us some ideas of what you want to hear.
Tell us if we suck and tell us how to fix it.
Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. We're open to constructive criticism.
Yeah.
So just give us some idea. Like realistically, like what I would love is for our listeners to all like comment shit, like as far as what they want to hear from us, like
Right.
like subjects. Like if we could get 20 people giving us ideas, that's gonna be a lot better. First of all, if we get a lot of the same ideas, we're gonna know that's what people want to hear.
Yeah.
But we have no idea what you guys want to hear if you guys don't tell us.
And now we have 100 listeners, so 101. And
Pretty good.
yeah, we only, like I said on episode 9, the only fucking person that hits us up is Jay.
Jay's the only one, man. That's
I mean,
cool.
we
We
got
appreciate it though, Jay.
We got
Actually, Jay, speaking of it, if you're listening to this, man, hit us up. Tell us an episode you want us to do. We'll fucking do it.
We're
man.
doing an episode with him this month.
Oh, the shadow one, right?
I think we're going to do Shadow People.
But I mean, like in general, do you like Jay? Do you have something you want us to do?
Yeah, I mean,
You want us? You know what I mean? Hit us up, man.
yeah. All right. Follow us on Instagram, Bizarre Investigations. Facebook is still
Up in the air. It's up in the air right now.
Right now it's iffy. Twitter is BizarreInv. I'm no longer going to spell it, guys.
BIZARREINV.
Yeah, I've said it, 12 times now.
We
There's
just
no
gotta make
need.
sure that people, like I said before, if people,
If they click
this
on
is
us-
people's first episode.
If they click on us, it says all of our social media.
does it really?
Yeah, I put it in there.
Shit,
So there's literally no need for me to say it anymore.
that sounds cool.
But I hate spelling it. BIZARREINV. I feel like I misspell it once. I'm really, you fucking spelled bizarre wrong. It's in your fucking name, dude. Like, I'm going to have to fucking do it. So I'm no longer going to spell it. BizarreInv.
First of all, I'll be upfront. I spelled bizarre wrong
We
when
both
we
did.
first started this thing.
We all did. We
How'd
put
we spell-
BIZZARE.
Yeah.
No, just one.
No, BIZZARE is what
It was
I
one
spelled.
Z, 2 R's.
Correct. We flipped the R's and the Z's.
Yeah, it was, we weren't the best.
What about the email? Bizarre Investigations.
BizarreInvestigations@gmail.com. Yeah.
That's it, man.
That's
Hit us
it.
up, please, guys. Come on. Communicate.
All right. We'll see you guys on the next one.
Stay frosty.
Toodles.